Hey friends, Justin here with a little bit of a different kind of video. The week is over. We have made it to the weekend. And as a matter of fact, this particular weekend, the weekend of February 18th, we've got President's Day Monday. So I'm off. I've got a 3-day weekend. And I just wanted to come on this evening and just kind of chit-chat with you guys. So many things I want to talk to you about. I've got a wine, a Pinot Grigio that I've been really enjoying, and I want to have a glass with you guys. So pause me if you need to. Get something to drink, whether it's a soft drink or your wine of choice. But we're going to talk about the wine. We're going to talk about some things that I've thrifted and found at the Dollar Tree that have been really useful for me lately. The future of the channel, things that I'm looking forward to. I want to get your suggestions of some things I can watch and just chill with you guys. Usually my videos are usually straight to the point about, whatever movie or TV show that I'm watching, and we never hang out. So first, in the comments below, tell me how your week was. Was this a good week for you, and what was the highlight for you? Let me tell you about this wine. It's called, this video is not sponsored in any way. These are just things I partake in and am finding enjoyment with. So, for the last couple of weeks, I've been drinking a Pinot Grigio called Chloe. And I think they've all been the 2020 vintage, So I'm going to pour a glass here. I'll describe it as, and I'm not a wine snob. I really know nothing about wine, and I'd love your suggestions on things to try. But I describe it as full-bodied and really palatable for an inexpensive wine. A bottle of this is like $11.99, so it's not expensive in any way. I think you can probably find it at Target or your local, wine stop. But I've really been enjoying it. A friend of mine earlier was telling me, because I told her, I said, I really don't like Moscato, which is the drink of choice for a lot of people in a lot of my peer group. It's too sweet for me, And she says, I should try a Riesling. It's kind of middle of the road. It's still got a little bit of sweetness, but it's not... overly sugary like Moscato is. Moscato just gives me a sugar rush. So share below what you're drinking. Give me some recommendations. Nothing over $25 if you will. But things that I can enjoy and then not feel terrible about wasting some of the bottle. Because I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'm not a heavy drinker, and I rarely, if ever, get through the entire bottle. Delicious. This is my second glass tonight, so this will probably be my last one. So prices have gone up at the Dollar Tree. We all hate it. $1.25 for everything. And I want to show you a couple of items that I've gotten at Family Dollar. And one or two items that I've thrifted lately that I'm getting some enjoyment out of, and a lot of the price points have just been $1. So for an everyday lotion, and you guys are probably very familiar with these name brands, but for an everyday lotion, I've been using this Cucumber Melon. It's really light. It's basically the value of this is $1. And that's what it cost, $1. The reason I tell you about that is I've been using this Dermasil, 8 ounces. It's $1 at Family Dollar, or at least it was when I picked this up. And this is a really, really heavy lotion. It's kind of in between a lotion and Vaseline. And so for the wintertime, when our skin is all icky and nasty, this Dermasil has really done the trick for me. You know, I've used it on my face, my neck, and everywhere, and it lasts. I've never, for $1, I've never experienced a lotion that this thick, and you can tell after putting it on that it has integrity. Have you guys ever used that Dermasil Labs dry skin treatment lotion? I mean, it really has some, to my opinion, it has some heft to it for just $1. And the packaging is not the worst. It does not, you know, particularly look like cheap lotion. So I've had that for maybe a month and a half, 2 months now. I sometimes have to cut it, you know, put some water with it because it's just that thick. You know, it's going to last you for several hours. So if you need something, you know, a little bit heavier for lotion and for your skin, you know, while this cold weather is kind of going crazy everywhere, try some of that. Some of the old favorites at Family Dollar are some of their spray imitation perfumes and colognes. You know, they have, you know, back in the day that if you like this, you'll love Cool Water or Jupe or, you know, whatever they used to have. I think they've improved their formulas. They're still $1, but you know, I've been really crazy about this one in particular. If you like CK1, you'll love our U. So it's for a man or a woman. It's a unisex spray, and it is so fresh. If you liked CK1 back in the day, and it was one of my favorite fragrances in the 90s. If you like CK1, pick up a can of this. I think they sell it in this small 5-ounce, or let me see, 0.5 ounce container, and then larger ones as well. But let me tell you this about this 0.5 ounces. This has lasted me for months. Do you hear me? This has lasted me for months. And I use it every time I need to run somewhere. It's not incredibly, you know, long lasting, but, you know, you spray before you go. You leave one in your car, so just before you get out, you give yourself a nice little blast. And, you know, I can't say enough, $1. Here's another one, a more evening spray. It's the If You Like Red by Giorgio, you'll love our Little Sexy. If you want, you know, you've got a nice dinner. I'm not going to spray this one too, but if you've got a nice dinner and you're looking for that kind of a heavier fragrance, try this, the Giorgio Red by Giorgio Imitation. I've also had this for about 3 months, and I'm not in danger of running out. It's such a good value for $1, and they have, and trust me on this, because I know what you're probably thinking if you're not used to the fragrances, that it probably smells like alcohol and water, but it does not. They have really improved their formulas. Those are a couple of body products from Family Dollar that I have enjoyed and you know, have just paid $1 for. That's my sweet spot. That's where I'm comfortable. Another place where I love to kind of go wild at Family Dollar and the Dollar Tree is in their book section. I love buying books. Not that I always read them, but I love to go in there and peruse their book section and purchase them. And then, you know, line them up on my shelf so that they look nice. One of the most recent ones that I've bought is this book. It's called An Anatomy of Beasts. And on the back it says, a thrilling journey filled with cool science, amazing monsters, and vivid characters that strike the perfect balance of great storytelling and hard truth-telling. So I don't know if it's, you know, fantasy, if it's adventure. But I believe, yeah, well, it says, you know, fiction here on the back. So I think it's an adventure story. Let's see. In the 40 years since Vaganter landed on Falog, the planet has existed in a tenuous peace between humans and blah, 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 blah. So, you know, nice fantasy adventure story when you're in the mood for that. I've got another one that I can't wait to take on vacation. I think this will be a good plane and vacation book. And it's called On Sunset by Katherine Harrison. And, you know, I'm a big fan of anything about old Hollywood. You know, obviously I love films, you know, love television shows. I love the industry. And so I think this will be an interesting read. It's a memoir of Katherine Harrison. And, you know, I'd love to read about some of her insights and some of her escapades up and down the Sunset Strip and in the golden age of Hollywood. So this is one I'm going to take on vacation with me. And, you know, we're talking a buck. You can't beat it. You can't beat it. This is one I picked up. It's called The Goodbye Summer by Sarah Van Name. This is one I picked up for a friend of mine's daughter who's in her last year of high school. But the week of Christmas, when I was supposed to give it to them, the entire family came down with COVID. So I've held on to it and, you know, frankly have been kind of going through it. And I may actually read it. Who is she willing to lose? So Caroline is counting the days until September when she'll turn 17. And she and her older boyfriend Jake will run away together. She doesn't feel connected to anyone at home anymore, and now that she's with him, she can't wait to see the world with Jake. Then she meets Georgia, a counselor at the aquarium camp, and Caroline's world changes. Through pizza lunches, trips to amusement parks, and midnight talks, Georgia begins to show Caroline that there's more to life than being with Jake. The more Georgia weaves her way into Caroline's world, the more uneasy Caroline becomes about her plans to leave. When summer comes to a close, she'll have to say goodbye to someone, but who can she live without? I don't know. I just, you know, I read a book when I was a lot younger called The 17th Summer or something like that. And it just reminded me of a cute, whimsical story for her, give her, you know, a little bit of drama in her senior year. So I thought that was cute and interesting, and I may end up reading it myself. And last but not least, probably my favorite of the bunch so far, and you guys may have seen this one at your Dollar Tree. It's called The Island Dwellers by Jen Silverman, and it's a collection of short stories about life, about different perspectives, and I have really enjoyed the mature stories. This one is a little bit more for adults, but I have really enjoyed the short bursts and the short adult contemporary stories in the book. There are stories about dating and living in New York City, all kinds of different things. So if you see this one, it's $1, you know, no more than $1.25 at your Dollar Tree. The Island Dwellers by Jen Silverman. It's a good one. I recommend that you pick it up. But yeah, that amongst baskets and containers and all of those different things, I really love to get books at my Dollar Tree. When you guys go to Dollar Tree, because I want, you know, let's have a conversation. What are the items that you just can't pass up? And even if you don't buy them, where do you beeline towards when you go to your Dollar Tree? After I go in and get, you know, my paper towel and my TP and all of the my bathroom cleaners and all of those essentials, where else do you go? And I'm going to tell you something. I went to Kroger the other day and just happened to go down the paper towel and toilet paper aisle. Those people are insane. When you can get the same thing at the Dollar Tree for $1.25. I don't care about the thread count of my paper towel. They all work the same. They all work just fine to me. And so I don't buy my paper towel anywhere else but the Dollar Tree. And as a matter of fact, my trash bags as well. I think that at Kroger, I think it was like $7 a pack for toilet paper. And, you know, the prices are just astronomical these days. Are you guys experiencing this inflation, this crazy, crazy inflation, you know, where you live? I didn't bring a lot over here. I should have brought more to show. But I want to show this kind of professional bag that I got at the thrift store. I had been online eyeing this Louis Vuitton laptop case. I forget what you call it. Just eyeing it and eyeing it and eyeing it, and I just could not justify myself the price. I'm a cheapskate, I'm a tightwad, and I just cannot give myself permission to splurge, you know, the way that I probably should at my age. But I was at the thrift store the other week, and I came across this camel-colored case. And no, it's not Louis Vuitton. You know, no, it cost $2. And what I've been doing, and it's one of those ones that it's got the metal inside of it, so it you know, kind of supports itself, as you can see. And I've got my tax papers in here, and I've got a series of files that I put in here to kind of keep track of bills, rent, food, internet, and phone. So right now I'm using it as an organizer, but I can easily drop my laptop into it and kind of carry it around. And it was, like I said, it was $2 at the thrift store. I like it. You know, it's nothing to write home about. But, you know, I couldn't justify spending $700-800 on you know, the kind of clutch that I was really eyeing. And I'm moving, the older I get, the older, you know, the more I move away from labels and things like that. But I really love the Louis Vuitton laptop case. It doesn't have a handle like this one does. It's just the zip, you know, zip around. But I just love it. But I says, for $2, you know, whatever, you know, I'll get this. Anyways, guys, you know, as you may or may not have noticed, if you're a regular viewer of my channel, I've been watching all of the Oscar nominees, so that this year, that the show will actually be interesting. You know, you watch the Academy Awards, or if you ever have, and 80% of the folks that get up there, you're just looking at them, you know, like, great, you know, let's move on to Best Actress of the Year. Let's get to the, you know, the one category or the two categories that I'm actually pulling for. And so I don't want to be a fair weather fan this year. I want to have some horses in the race and really know what I'm watching. So I've been watching and reviewing a lot of the Oscar nominated films, a few of the films for Best Actor and Actress, and it's been really fun. It's been really fun. So if you haven't yet, check out a couple of the reviews for some of the Oscar nominees. But, you know, this is where I want some of your input. If you've made it this far, 19 minutes into the video, what are some films, what are some of your favorite films of all time? And I mean, you can go all the way back to black and white films, early Hollywood, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. What are some of your favorite films that you would love to hear or be interested to hear a review on or get my perspective on? I think that would be fun to have some recommendations from some of my viewers. And we can talk about, you know, your favorite films and what they mean to you and what they meant to you. I thought that would be interesting. One of the films that I'm watching right now is a Native American film called Songs My Brother Taught Me. I believe it came out in 2015. And it's by the director of Nomadland, Chloe Zhao, who is absolutely out of this world. You know, Nomadland was the first film that I ever saw by her, but it's so interesting the way that she's able to tell other people's stories. This film, Songs My Brother Taught Me, has such an authentic and a distinctive indigenous voice that it's incredible that it was made by, you know, an Asian filmmaker. So I'm really liking that. I'll probably post a review sometime this weekend of that in the midst of the Academy Award films. But any films of any genre, animated films, you know, whatever you're interested in, I'd love to share my thoughts with you. I've got a few recommendations from some of my friends here that I need to get to. So I do have some to start, but, you know, I'd be really interested to get your input. Anyways, friends, I'm not going to keep you all night, but, you know, 2022, it should be a good year for us. This was a week that I personally really needed to decompress from. I had a lot going on in terms of work. Deciding if I was going to take a new position or stay in the position that I have. Just lots going on my way. Good stuff, you know, but this adulting stuff, why did we ever want to grow up, guys? When I was 16, 17, the only thing I wanted to do was be 18 and go to the, you know, the bar, the club, the nightclub, and hang out and be independent and make my own decisions. That was the ghettoest idea that I've ever had. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed, you know, I hope I haven't talked your ear off, but I wanted to share some of the products that I get use out of. You know, a lot of people, when they do the Dollar Tree hauls, they're just, you know, showing you bags and paper towel and stuff that, you know, and you really want their review. Do you actually use this? Are these good products or not? So, you know, share with me some of the products that you can't live without, that you know, run to Dollar Tree for. Remember to share a recommendation of wine for me. And if you are a wine drinker, you know, be sure to try our Chloe Pinot Grigio. And tell me what you think. Let me know if my palate is just immature and that I need to learn more. But I'm interested in learning about, you know, the nuance of wine and sampling and finding different flavors, you know. But anyways, guys, you know, I may do this again next week if anybody watches and has any interest in just chatting. So, you know, this first time I'll just call it a weekend fun cast. You know, if you have a name for, you know, maybe a slight podcast, you know, share it with me. But until next time, guys, please give this video a like, a comment below, and please consider subscribing to my channel for more movie, TV, and chatty related content. And until next time, guys, as I usually say, cheers. Thank you for watching.